Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a cool Stream Deck hack for you. I've got a lot of keyboards, but I don't currently own a drum machine. I'm going to show you how to use a Stream Deck to trigger drums. Now you could actually use it to trigger anything over MIDI, like sound effects, so if you're a DJ, it would work really well. There are two caveats. Number one, the buttons are kind of small, but they're still usable. And number two, the Stream Deck won't send dynamic velocities. But there's a workaround for that. What you can do is set up a row of buttons to trigger certain sounds like kick and snare, and then immediately below that you can have the same sounds but with a greater velocity, so you kind of have an accent. Let's go over to the Stream Deck and I'll give you a quick demo. Here we go. Here's a quick demo of the pads in action. So you can see that pressing the mute triangle chokes the triangle ring. All right, that's enough demo. I know you want to know how to do this, so let's go into the programming now. Here we are inside of Stream Deck, and I've already scrolled to the screen that has my drum pads on it. There are many other screens, but this is the one we're concerned with. The first thing you'll want to do is scroll down this right-hand side bar and find the MIDI functions. Here they are right here. And the one we'll want to use is Note On Off. If I go over here and click on Kick, you'll see that's what we're using. Note On Off. All you are going to do is grab hold of this Note On Off and drag it to one of the pads. That's all you need to do. What I'm going to do at this point is take you through all the different parameters that we need to set. So the first thing we need to do is we need to give our button a title. And if you've already used Stream Deck for a while, a lot of this is going to be very basic for you. So I've told it that the title is Kick. Now we can make that anything we want. Could be DDD, and that would change up here to say DDD. But this is our kick, so let's go ahead and make it Kick, and I like capitals. I've told it that we essentially have two icons here, one for when the button has not been pressed and one for when it has been pressed. And I made some alterations. I made the one that isn't pressed red and be at the bottom, because you can have it on 3 different positions here. And for this one, I have it set to white. Where you would do this is over here on this very first line. So I just click on this text box here that allows me to change the text, and I can make it red or blue or any color I want just by clicking on this red option here. The other thing I can do is choose whereabouts I would like it to appear. And I like it on the bottom. And then when I press the button, you'll see that it moves up. For me, that's a great visual indicator, and I know that Stream Deck is working. If I'm not hearing anything out of my speakers, it's an indicator to me that something else is wrong. So let's click back on this. Now, in order to get 2 icons here, and I know in this particular case it's really only text, but it could be 2 icons, you'll have to go down here and select Button Icons, and you'll have to choose 2. Next up, you'll have to choose what MIDI channel you want. And of course, you get all 16 MIDI channels. There's no Omni but you can choose whichever one of 16 MIDI channels. I know a lot of people like their drums on either channel 16, or if you're doing a lot of general MIDI, or if you just like putting it on channel 10, that might be your preference. The next option is the button type. And of course, it was the last one when I was doing this. I tried all of the other three types: push, latch, and toggle. And quite honestly, push and toggle sounded like they might work, but they don't. Don't use them. You'll end up with stuck notes and all kinds of problems. Use hold. Next, you'll need to select the MIDI note or the key that you want the Stream Deck to trigger. And so for select keys 4, you'll want to tell it where your middle C is, either C4, C3, or C5. This isn't incredibly crucial. If you select C3 rather than C4 like I've selected, it just means that the actual key that you select will either be 12 notes higher or 12 notes lower. So just keep that in mind. What I would suggest is you keep them all the same. Tell it that C3 or C4 is your middle C, and then you won't have too many troubles. Next up, you'll choose the key that you want to trigger. Right now, I'm triggering C1 because I know that's where my kick drum is. If I were to choose another key, like say F0, that would be something different. So I'll go up here and I'll click my button. Okay, that's a hi-hat, and that's not what I want there. What I want is my kick drum, which is on C1. So now we're back to C1. Good. All right. We have our velocity over here. 89 works pretty well for me, and if you decide to do 2 rows of the same instruments or repeat some of the instruments on a different row or anywhere you want at a different velocity, this is where you'd select the velocity. Let me just show you what that sounds like if we select 29 and now I press the button. That's pretty weak. And then if I pop it up to 51, it's a little louder. Let's put it back where it was, which was 89. Okay, that's pretty solid for a kick. As far as the note off, you have to tell the Stream Deck what you want it to do after you release the button. And we want it to turn off the same note that it just turned on. You can turn off any other note you want, but that's not really going to be the correct option to use. So what you really want to do is turn off the note that you just turned on, so it's quiet. With something like a drum sound, which is going to be just momentarily anyway, it's not hugely important, but if you're triggering, say, like a synthesizer sound, it would just sustain indefinitely if you didn't turn it off. MIDI out port and MIDI in port. Just select the ports that you have on your interface. I'm using a UFX by RME, so I just choose MIDI port 1 for my input port and MIDI port 1 for my output port. Don't worry about the translation file option here, just ignore that. And then for our icons, remember I chose that I wanted to have 2. And if you chose 1, then it wouldn't change when you press it. But I like that functionality. I find it very useful. Now for a very important tip, and I'm going to actually create a button. Once you've created one button, and that's what I would suggest you do, just concentrate on creating one button that works. Once you've done that, and we'll take our kick, you can right-click on it and copy it to every other slot where you want to have an instrument. We'll just put it here in this empty slot, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it. And now we have a kick right here, and I'll play it. By doing this, all I have to do now to change that to something else is just go down here and change the note and the velocity. Let's just pick something. I don't know what it's going to be. Let's hear it. Okay, it's kind of a piccolo snare. So we can just come up here. We can say snare. And now when I press it, we get that snare sound. You can also change the velocity on it, and you can change the name like I did. That way you only have to change a couple of options: the name, the key, and the velocity. And you're going to save a lot of time. Hopefully you found this episode interesting. That's it for this episode. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments and I'll do what I can to answer them. But I think this is pretty easy for most people. And if you've been using Stream Deck for any length of time, you should find it pretty useful. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in another episode soon.